Hello everybody and welcome to my floss tube. Today is Sunday, August 26th and it is 5 p.m. It has been a nice sunny day today. We had pretty severe thunderstorm last night, but we really could use the rain. We don't need the lightning though. We have had lots of forest fires started in the area from the lightning, but they are mostly contained, under control, so that's a good thing. This is going to be a very quick update because I only worked on 2 projects. It's been a week, but I've been dedicated to 2 projects. As you can see, Beloved is in its place on my floss cabinet. Just turn the camera so you can see. And that's where it gets parked when I'm not working on it. Normally it would be on the desk behind me and I would just sit down and work on it and then get up and go do other stuff. But I needed the desk because I wanted to work on something that hadn't been worked on for a long time. And by a long time, I mean close to 20 years, because when I started it, I remember the house that we lived in was not this house, and I know my children were little, and that I was even doing daycare, because my children were preschool, and I was a stay-at-home mom with the 2 boys, and I took in little kids to keep them company and make myself some money. So the reason that I remember that mostly is because when I did make a working copy, somebody decided to help by squiggling all over it with a pen. And I'm not sure which child that was, whether it was one of mine or one of the other kids. So, and I only made a working copy of the top part because of the wing. And if you haven't guessed which one I'm talking about, I believe I mentioned it in my last video, and it is Lavender and Lace Angel of Summer. And here she is, all finished. 100% done. Well, except for the framing. All of the beads. There are a lot of beads. And I did fudge a little bit because I was not going to count exactly how many squares over and up those gold beads were from each other. They're approximate. And at the very end of that strand right there, there was supposed to be a couple more beads, but I ran out of thread. And there's beads all through that ruffle. So that is Angel of Summer. Finally finished after about 20 years. 19 of which was probably just put aside, laying there doing nothing. Because to be honest, the main body of it did not take very long. The garland is where I was when I put it away. And it was a lot of confetti stitches, and I did fudge a lot in there when I came along with the beads. If it was a big chunk of, you know, like pink missing, I might have gone and picked up the pink and put it back, fill it in properly, but otherwise I just fudged it with random beads. So that is that. And Tina at Simply in Stitches is also working on this, which is what encouraged me to pick mine up and just get it finished. And she is very close to being finished too. I know she says that she has quite a bit to do, but it doesn't look like a whole lot more to me. So there's that. And then the other project that I worked on, I think I'll keep the camera like this so you can enjoy that, because I didn't work on that. I need to work on that though, because I'm not done my numbers for Full Coverage Fanatics. But instead, I worked on this. And I am once again going to put a little disclaimer. Dad, stop watching it. I will put a time stamp somewhere where you can start watching it again. And like I said, I don't know if he is watching, so this is the stocking that I am making for my dad. Dimensions gold. And you're getting lots of glare. I don't know how to point it without glare. Christmas Eve fun stocking. And when you last saw it, I had just reached this fence, I believe, and the bottom of his coat. I think she was done, his pants weren't done. Don't know if I had the dog done. And I was, you know, a little ways up with the tree. And so this time, big glare, sorry, I worked on it steadily for the 7 days since the last video. And here is where we are. I backstitch as I go, especially on these larger, more, well, not larger, but the more complex patterns, because that's a lot to leave to the end. And as you can see, the dog is finished, the boy is finished, the girl is mostly finished. I think there's a little bit of backstitching on her, and the dad is about 3/4 of the way done. And down here is where the other dog is going to be, and we're not that far from the bottom. And so I figure if I continue to do a 1 week steady rotation, in that this gets put on the frame for a week at a time, and I calculated it to be about 1 row average that I finish per week, and I have 6 rows left, and the last row is just a small one. So 6 times it has to show up in my rotation for a weekly session. And that's not impossible before Christmas. The impossible thing might be to actually get it finished, fully finished. but I will do that when it comes time, and I'm sure I can get that done. I'll work it all out. It'll get done this year for sure, because I'm not going to make it wait another year. So that's all for my whips. I have no haul, and no stitchy kindness, no FFOs. That's really it. So for my plans, I stated last time that I'm going to be working on the Dressmaker's Daughter by Mirabilia, which is this one. And I'm going to be stitching it on pull up the tag. Sweet Lavender 32 count Belfast by Extrude Designs. And I started kitting it up in my project bag here, and I will be starting it on the 1st. I believe that's when the rest of the Aussie stitchers are starting their Spring Queen stitch along, and I'm going to be doing the spring dress portion of this pattern, this one right here. And so I ordered everything that I'm going to need for that particular part of the pattern, because there are a lot of treasures and beads and water lilies. I ordered all the water lilies and just the beads and all the DMC that I need. I didn't order any treasures, because those go on at the very, very end anyways. And it was a little bit pricey. It was getting up there. I also ordered a pair of scissors for my husband. So I will show you those when they come in, because he is doing model stitching for his Etsy store. And that is it's coming along really good. I don't think I was supposed to tell you guys about it, but there it is. And he's enjoying it so far. I made him a Q-snap cover as well. I don't think there's anything else planned. I'm going to try to incorporate some of my older whips into a monthly rotation, similar to what Stitching Mummy, Sarah, similar to what she does, in that I'm going to dedicate a day to a certain project. Basically it's all roughed out right now. It's like for the 25th day of the month I'm going to work on something Christmas, because I've got all of those Nora Corbett Christmas Eve couriers started, along with the sleigh, and this one here, Crystal Christmas, started, and I think I can work on one of these every 25th of the month. And the first of the month is going to be dedicated to the Mirabilia. It used to be the New Year, New Start for me, but I finished that on my anniversary, so the first is free. And the 15th is my birthday anniversary every month, so it's going to be the Alice project. And that would be this one, Alice by Oritium. So I'm going to work on that every 15th until it's finished. Aside from that, don't really have any other goals set in stone. there is a long weekend coming up, so I hope to get a lot of stitching done then. And hopefully I won't be needed to go into work, and be able to relax. It's Labor Day weekend coming up, so I might get another video in. We'll see where I get with that. Right now I'm going to switch out the stocking because when I worked on it last night, I was a little bit burnt out on it. So it's a time to switch it out. And I'm going to work on Alice for a couple days until the 1st, which I believe actually happens to be on a Saturday, which means I can spend the long weekend working on Mirabilia, the dressmaker daughter. Sounds like a pretty decent plan. And when I check in next time, that will probably be started. Hopefully I have my stash to show, my haul to show you. I know people have been talking about whip parades and stash parades. I'm not going to show a stash parade because my bookshelf, which was in my previous videos, the entire bottom row is all magazines and patterns, and I've got boxes of patterns beside it. So you don't need to see all of those. If you want to see certain ones, I mean, I could show you, you know, all my Mira's and Nora's, which, to be honest, is not nearly as extensive as some of the others. And my whips have actually been going down. I've noticed that I've been finishing about one a month. And I know some of them it feels like, well, that, I mean, I only needed a week of attention on that and then it was done. I don't think it's cheating. It's still a finish. It feels like cheating. But anyways, I think I've rambled on long enough. I'm going to sign off now and go finish up my chores and try to upload this, and hopefully the volume and everything worked out okay, because when I did a test run earlier, it was not the greatest. So anyways, I will check in with you in a week, maybe 2. Until then, you can check me out at Tina Stitches 74 on Instagram, or you know, like and subscribe, follow the videos. I try to stay consistent, if not regular, and keep on stitching. We'll see you next time. Bye.